Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time with us, my name's Elena and today I am just indulging my desire to look at all of the mermaid options in The Sims 4. That's it. That's as deep as it goes. I built a really cute shell sim and then just made like 5 different mermaids based off of like all the different ways that you can do them in The Sims 4. So what I originally was going for was kind of like an opposite twins or opposite triplets or whatever thing where I was just like, what if I made the same face and then one of them had brown hair and green eyes and one of them had blonde hair and blue eyes, and then I took it really far. I think they ended up really cute though, so hopefully you do too. If you want to not watch the video and just download them from the gallery, you can do that. My username on Origin is ElenaD97. Anyway, I wanted to give this base sim like a really wide, maybe like heart-shaped face kind of, because to me that's very like mermaidy. In the wake of the news about Halle Bailey being cast as Ariel in The Little Mermaid, I've been thinking about like she has the most mermaidy face in the entire world. You know, she's just got these like really wide set eyes and like wide cheekbones and everything. So I was kind of trying to emulate that, but also I just wanted to make somebody that would be just deeply adorable. In a wide variety of looks. So I also made the sim very, I tried to make them muscular with like a pretty hefty, like a reasonable amount of body fat because you're like swimming in the ocean all day. So you need body fat like a seal, with like wide shoulders and wider hips because I just think it looks nice with the mermaid tails. But I kind of wanted to make them look like they do swim around a lot and can survive in the water 24/7. Ooh, this was so much fun to do. I made the shell sim and then I went on a walk with my dogs because they were barking. And while I was out there, I was thinking like, how do I make them cute opposite twins? You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's a little bit annoying when people always do the like red hair and green eyes and freckles, even though as soon as I was done with these ones, I did a version that's just like that where they all look exactly the same, but have like the classic combos of like blonde hair and blue eyes and red hair and green eyes and all those different things. But I tried to make these each like cute and unique looking and kind of in different mermaid traditions, if that makes sense. So this first one, Thea, their name started as Circe, which is like a Greek goddess, maybe a goddess, I don't remember. There's an old Greek legend about this like island of magic where you'd get turned into a guinea pig. If you read Percy Jackson as a kid, you know what I'm talking about. But Thea, I decided like blonde hair and really dark brown eyes would be cute, and I was right. And so I just kind of started with that and then started looking at like what colors looked good and what kind of makeup extras and stuff. There's so much like fun kind of special effects makeup in The Sims that I never use. That was fun to use on the mermaids. So Thea, obviously, red tail. I skipped around a lot more in this one than I usually do. I wanted to like get all the mermaid parts done first because that was the fun part. So Hana is a little bit more. My idea for Thea was that she was sort of like an Atlantean warrior, like the palace guard for King Triton or whatever his name is in The Little Mermaid. And then Hana, I wanted to be a little bit more like fishy looking, and I just really wanted to use that pink and blue striped tail. You know, it's just so gorgeous. And I think it blends really well with that one particular skin tone. And then Antonia, I don't know what I was going for at first. I think I was just kind of like, what matches this like set of skin tone and eye color and hair color. And then I found that hair and everything fell into place. Like, so she's sort of, underwater royalty, like classic mermaid in a sense where it's like, yeah, the princess from underwater. I gave her that little soulmate aspiration and made her sort of your classic, like Disney princessy person. She's creative and outgoing and she's clumsy, which is like cute and romantic comedy-ish. So she's the one who would like get out of the water so that she could go exploring and then find a human boyfriend, Rhiannon is, she just started with the hair and eye color, and then I was kind of trying to match. To me, that's like, that green tail is the classic mermaid tail, just the absolute everything. Oh, I spent so long clicking back and forth trying to decide what pattern of shirt I wanted. I'm like cringing in advance. So Rhiannon's a little bit more of like your classic, like Caribbean Caribbean mermaid. And my idea is that she's like not a mermaid that starts in the water. She's like a person and then discovers that she can turn into a mermaid. You know what I mean? Like that's a different kind of mermaid than the mermaid that was like a fish person underwater and then like crawled out of the water. Yeah, I had so much fun though. So I gave her the new island living hairs and stuff like that. Obviously you need island living for all of these, but, yeah, so I did go back and kind of look at, because originally I was going to have them all have like matching hair and tail, like matching tails and tops and everything so that they would like look like a set. And then I kind of lost interest in that concept, and made them all like very different. But yeah. Oh, why am I so... Okay, yeah. And then Ingrid is supposed to be a little bit more like deep sea creepy mermaid. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm obsessed with that one swatch of the black tail though, by the way. It's like the 4th tail option. And then if you get the black one, it has like these like night sky star effect kind of. Obsessed. So Ingrid, partially I was just like, I want to do one that has an unnatural hair color and gray eyes. And so I made that and I was like, well, what kind of mermaid goes with this? And so I went with this kind of like deep sea creepy, like further from human than the other mermaids are. Do you know what I mean? Like this one, if it's a scale of like most to least fishy, I would say it goes like Rhiannon is the least fishy, and then the redheaded one, Antonia, the redheaded one, and then the blonde one who's supposed to be like the warrior, and then the brown-haired one, or the black-haired one, is like second fishiest, and then Ingrid is like, you know, like 15% human, 85% fish. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, once I was done, I tried to use all the options, so I gave some of them like the cool mermaid teeth, and so Thea's got the mermaid teeth. I like that idea that she's kind of like a good-natured, actually she has vampire teeth, it looks like, but she's just kind of like a good-natured, like doesn't quite get people kind of a thing. Like she would walk up on land like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you all acting like this? I gave her some scarring. I clipped some of it out because it was boring to watch, but I spent a while trying to figure out how I wanted to do that. So I gave her like a lot of scarring in her face in her mermaid form, because that's her like, you know, not trying to be stealthy about the fact that she's a mermaid warrior lady. And then in her human form, I gave her like one in the same place, but just a smaller eyebrow scar, for all of her outfits, because like the way that her teeth are concealed when she turns into a human and those kinds of things, like her scars would also fade, because she's trying to like, yeah, be stealthy. So my idea of it though was that like in the society, like the kind of warlike underwater society that she's from, it's sort of a badge of honor to have those scars. And so she didn't want to get rid of them altogether. She would have felt stupid with just a perfect scarless face, you know, who has that? So yeah, Thea was, I think, like look wise, I had a lot of fun with her, but I also took way too long to like make the look happen. My idea is that she's definitely like, she does the absolute bare minimum to fit in and look like human-y, you know what I mean? She's like not mad about the way the humans are, she just doesn't get it, and she's not like that into it. So I think she wears that red lipstick partially because I wanted her to have like a red element, and she looks really cute with it, but also I think it's her, like she heard somewhere that's kind of like a warning color in human society, and she's like, yeah, I don't really want people to talk to me, great, red lipstick. So she wears red lipstick all the time, and a lot of her outfits are sort of more like earthy earth tones. I'm doing great today. Like earth tones, and she wears sort of kick around boots. That was my idea when I gave her all these outfits, was just like kick around, like minimal effort, you know. She'll put on the lipstick and she'll put on clothes, but I kept having this image in my head of like, if all 5 of these mermaids were like living in a house together trying to be subtle about the fact that they were mermaids, Thea would be the one where she like, before she leaves the house, she has to walk up to one of the other ones and go like, is this clothes? Like, this is clothes, right? This is enough. Okay, good. You know, she's just not that like a Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel type of girl, where she'll do what it takes to get people not to realize that she's a mermaid warrior, but she's not going to try any harder than that. So yeah, she's got kind of like not quite tomboyish, but definitely a low maintenance vibe about her. And then we get to watch me pick out outfits forever. I gave them, most of their underwears are like underwears. Most of their pajamas are like underwear and shorts and things. I was getting a snack in that pause, sorry. Because they're living on Sulani, which is hot. So, you know, this is my favorite outfit that I gave her. I just thought it was like the perfect, like, hello, this is how people dress. Okay, I'm going out to a party, I suppose. Like, she'd be going out to a party to protect maybe the royal is the person that she's guarding or something. And she's going and she'll dress, like, appropriately, but not any more appropriately than she has to. Yeah, this is the scars part. I thought I edited this out. God damn it. So yeah, so she has, like, a little eyebrow scar. You see what I mean? It's, like, in the same place as her big scar, but just a little bit more subtle. I gave her the writing aspiration partially because I just, like, didn't know what I was doing with their aspirations and traits because I was going to mostly base it off of the look. So I do go back and change that later. No worries. I did think the idea of her having the flirty trait was funny because I'm just picturing her, like, rolling up to a party like, hello, yeah, you'll be good. Like, sort of Gina from Brooklyn Nine-Nine-esque. Like, she doesn't actually put any effort into getting laid, but she just can because she's hot. Yeah. All their cold weather outfits also are kind of like a little bit of a cop-out because they're living on Sulani. Yeah, so none of their cold weather... If you place them in a world other than Sulani, it'll be kind of funny looking, but whatever. They're still cute. Okay, so Hana is she's like, in my mind, she's got the intellectual curiosity half of the Ariel formula. She does look, with that one hairstyle, she looked exactly like, did anybody watch the Little Mermaid 2 or whatever it was, where it was about Ariel's daughter Melody, who was like half a mermaid, so she could like jump in the water and turn into a mermaid? Like, that shit was so lit. I was obsessed with that movie. I wanted to name my daughter Melody. I wanted my own name to be Melody for a really long time when I was a little kid. Anyway, so Hana is like, she's into people. She finds them fascinating. She's very curious about them. She doesn't feel like she wants to bond with them or anything, but she's just like, yeah, let's go. You know, she's like studying abroad, basically, is what she's doing on land. So she also, I think she'd be the kind of person that would be walking around the human world going like, oh, that's nice. Like, she's very spacey. You know that, like, if any of you have a friend where you go shopping with them and they like see something they really like and you can tell they really like it because they go all vague and they're like, oh, that's pretty. Like, in that exact voice, that's her. That's Hana. So she like puts more effort into dressing and acting human than, say, Thea would, but mostly because she's curious about it. She's like, oh, look at these human clothes. They're charming. They're sweet. They're whatever, you know. So she's definitely not trying to, like, stay on land. So she has the non-committal trait. I'm just trying to justify the weird-ass traits I gave them. But yeah, so that's Hana, and she has that more, like, I think it looks more like her entire body is fishy than some of the other mermaids do. That's kind of what I was going for, is, like, it blended into the scales. So yeah, she's very content to be an underwater girl, but she just thinks humans are great and fascinating and wants to, like, visit them and see what they're up to. So all of her outfits are very, like, pastel-y and pink and blue, like, iridescent kind of to go with the tail. Sorry, I leave this notification up for so long. Somebody commented on one of my videos. Does anybody know when Brooklyn Nine-Nine season 6 is coming out? And, like, if that was you, no worries. I love comments no matter what. But Google it, you know? I don't know. I replied to it, but yeah, that was funny. Not to say that if you have any random shit you want to comment, please do, because I live for validation. Anyway, so we're on the party outfit, I guess, for Hana. Yeah, so Hana would be, like, getting all the way into the, like, Rumspringa, you know what I mean? She's, like, on her year in human society, and she's ready to party, you know what I mean? She's ready to, like, experience everything and see everything and study things and buy things to take home and, like, all that jazz. She's just very into, she's like a museum curator of human things. You know the look at this stuff, isn't it neat song from The Little Mermaid? Somebody's screaming the name, like, in the back of my head right now, but I don't remember. But that song, you know? Yeah, I want to be where the people are. That's her. But, like, not because she wants to live there. She just thinks that, like, Marge Simpson voice, I just think she's neat. So, yeah, she's kind of like the Uggs and everything. I thought that was funny, just to have her wearing, like, loose, floaty, because, like, again, clothing is a confusing concept for her. Loose and floaty stuff that wouldn't feel that intrusive. Anyway, so Antonia, or Antonia, or whatever, is named after a book character, not because she shares any traits with her name's Antonia, and she's from the book My Antonia by Willa Cather, and they have nothing in common. I just really like that name. So, I gave her kind of a orangey, yellowy aesthetic. She's supposed to be, to me, she would be like almost like on a diplomatic mission to the upper world. Like, she's less trying to escape from underwater and more trying to, like, you know, go figure out what people are about in the same way that Hana does, but a little bit more. To me, she's like the part of Ariel that, like, falls in love with a human and, like, gets married and all that stuff. So she's dressed cute all the time, which was difficult because trying to find, like, orangey, yellowy, taupey stuff that looks good was a struggle. You'll see it. You'll, like, look how ugly that outfit is. I was gonna let that be her normal outfit. Who am I? What, do I not care about this sim at all? I guess. Yeah, so she's, like, outgoing in the sense that she would be very, you know, interested in people, interested in what they're up to, and, like, actually wants to meet and bond with humans. So this is the closest to Ariel that we have. Just in the sense that her priorities are pretty Ariel-y. And yeah, she was actually really fun to dress. I think it's always the Sims that I expect to be the most difficult to make them look good that I like the most in the end. Like she's just so cute. I don't know, I just love her. This was me remembering that this dress is actually sick, and even though it has a bunch of embarrassing ice skating swatches, I should use it more. Yeah, so she's very, like, she dresses very formal and very, like, proper, but very cute. I thought she's, like, I know it's a polo shirt, but isn't she cute, though? What a queen. Yeah, so Antonia, I don't play favorites, but if I did, you know what I'm saying? I gave her the mermaid, like, one of the mermaid eye swatches. I love those. Like, I hadn't looked at those before, but the eye swatches that come with mermaids are so cute. Like, or not cute, but, like, interesting. And they fit the aesthetic of The Sims really well, while also giving your mermaids just that, like, I don't know if that's a person vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the vampire eyes are, like, really corny. But the mermaid eyes are, like, okay, actually some of them are also corny, but they add that perfect element of, like, fishy, not quite human business. Yeah, this is also a good outfit. I killed it. Wow. We're trying to love ourselves today. I read this quote from Lizzo recently that I've been trying to live by, where she was like, loving yourself is not a decision that you make. It's something you do for survival. And, like, honestly, mood. And I know that that's off topic, but I have nothing else to say about Antonia. She's just dressed really cute. I don't know how to say her name, and I named her. God. And then, as often happens when I'm building a sim, I discovered a way cuter outfit for her primary outfit while I was trying to make the hot weather. Like, imagine if I had just left her in that awful orange skirt. Like, I loved skirts as a kid. Don't get me wrong. I loved skirts as much as the next bitch, which was a lot. I had, like, 3 of them. One of them was denim, a jort, if you will. One of them was a jacquard, maybe. One of them was, like, lavender, and that was my shit. But it's not necessary here. She doesn't deserve that. So I ended up just giving her, like, a cute little dress. I don't know. Sometimes base game comes through. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then cold weather. I never got, because I'd watched Create a Sim videos where people complained about how there's not enough cold weather stuff, or, like, Tumblr posts or whatever, and I never fully got it until recently when I've just been making Sims out the waz. Now I get it. There's not enough, and most of it is so ugly. Yeah, I'm getting slightly better at editing out those little blips where I like go out of the screen to check that I'm still recording. Maybe someday I'll learn to use OBS. Probably not. Okay, so Rhiannon. Okay, this one, backstory-wise, I think this is my favorite. Because to me, she has that very classic, like, the green tail and the whatever. But she also has, like, the big, yeah, like, the flowy, Sulani, curly hair. And I gave her, like, the, I don't know what those bracelets are called, but the leafy bracelets, you know? And then, like, the lei. Because I wanted her to be, like, born and raised in Sulani. Her family is, like, a long line of mermaids. Sort of, like, judge me for the Twilight reference, but in Twilight, how the like, werewolf thing has been passed down through generations, and they, like, you know, the youths that don't know about it think that it's a fake, like, it's an old legend, and then the elders are, like, they let them believe that, but secretly they're like, yeah, they're real, and eventually you're gonna turn into a werewolf. That's this family with mermaids. So I had this idea in my brain of her, like, turning into a mermaid one, you know, it's like her 16th birthday or her 18th birthday or something. She turns into a mermaid while she's swimming, freaks out about it, goes to tell her mom, and she's like, Mom, I, like, grew a tail. And her mom was like, oh, thank God. Like, we thought we were starting to think you were a dud. I'm relieved. So, yeah, that's my idea with Rhiannon. And so she's definitely the most human of the bunch. She lives on land, wants to stay on land, wants to be a cook. I don't know. It just seemed fun. Like, also, I think going through the cooking career on Sulani would be really fun. So, there you go. So she's, like, a pedigreed mermaid. And I had a lot of fun dressing her. I'm just obsessed with the Sulani hairs. Like, that giant top knot, at first I was like, it's so big. Like, how am I ever going to use that? But I love it now. I think I just looked at it for long enough that it's just so beautifully made, and I love that it goes with the other, like, curly hair. And yeah, so she wears the top knot and the earrings and stuff. I get the feeling she's definitely not, I don't know, she's not necessarily a girly girl, but she has, like, an aesthetic that she's committed to. This dress I didn't actually love for her, but there's a sad dearth of cute green things, like, in the shade of green that I needed. So I needed, like, sea green, some emerald green, and Sims kept giving me olive green. No, unacceptable. Kelly green, I don't need that. So that's Rhiannon. I don't know why she's called that. I think she's named after a tour guide that I had when I was in Italy. Actually, yeah, that's 100% where her name came from. I don't pretend to understand myself. So yeah, she's definitely the one who's the most, because with the other girls, none of them wear clothing that's, like, tight or intrusive, or, like, most of the time they don't. But with Rhiannon, she's used to it because she's a person. So she just wears a lot of, like, her party outfit. It took me a long time to land on it, but I actually think it's really cute. And you're going to think I'm nutballs because it does look a little bit nutballs, but I think it's so cute. Like, I don't know. Something about this just makes me very happy. These pants that I never ever use. But then, wait for it, that top. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it does. And I think it's perfect. So, yeah. Like, wouldn't you... She's just so... If she showed up to your party looking like that, would you turn her away? No, you would not. I had so much fun doing this. It's kind of embarrassing. But yeah, so Rhiannon is the more... tied into humans. Her family are all, you know, they all live on land and things. I almost started making, like... This is, like, my third attempt. Yesterday was a fuck it day, you know what I mean? Like, one of those days where I was like, I refuse to do any of the things that I'm supposed to do today. I just won't do it. So instead I played with the mermaids a lot. And it took me, like, 4 attempts to figure out, like, a household that I really cared about making. And I tried making, like, male mermaids, mermen, as one might say. And those were cool, but I like making girl Sims so much better. Like, that's very basic of me, but I just do. I wanted to give her kind of a mismatching swimsuit because it seems like she'd be the kind of girl, if you live, like, on the beach your whole life, you're not going to actually try and match your swimsuit top and bottoms before you go out. Like, what's the point of that? And also, you probably have an entire drawer of them and you just kind of pull out 2 random things and put them on. But it would have looked like an accident, and I didn't want it to look like an accident. So, the hot weather outfit was also a challenge until I remember that there was a very specific outfit that I had seen at the beginning of this cast video when I was making Thea. And I was like, oh, that'll be perfect for so-and-so. And then I just forgot about it. I forgot about it, and then I spent like 10, 15 minutes doing this. I spent a really long time making these, and I don't fully understand why. See? Perfect. Cute. I was just like luxuriating in it. You know what I mean? Like, as much time as this wants to take, I'll let it take that much time. She's also the only person that wears like a real coat, because I feel like, having grown up in tropical climates, as soon as it gets cold, she's like, fuck this. I hate this. I'm going inside. Like, yeah, she's great. Ingrid is named after one of my friend's little sisters, actually. Not because I think she's a sea monster or anything, just because I think it's a good name. So she has the like childlike, loves the outdoors, loner traits. So to me, she's like really about 2 centimeters to the left of a sea monster. You know what I mean? Like, her mermaid form is supposed to be a little unsettling and like not like a pretty mermaid. I mean, it's still really pretty because like the mermaid tails and stuff. But I wanted her to be like the unsettling mermaid, where they don't really know or care what humans are up to. They're like interested in exploring. Like, Ingrid wants to know what's going on up where all the dry stuff is, but like, it's not really about people necessarily. She just wants to figure out what's up. She's just kind of bored. She was like living in the Marianas Trench and got a little sick of it. So I get like, if I could have my wildest dreams, you could pick having like a bioluminescent mermaid in The Sims 4. Add that setting. Somebody who knows how to make mods, please, I beg. So that's kind of what I was going for with her. She has like the creepy glowy, they're vampire eyes, I'm pretty sure, but they work really well. And she wears a lot of white and gray to kind of match her original aesthetic, and also just to make her look a little bit ghostly. She does have perfect hair, which is kind of unrealistic for somebody who lived in the ocean their entire life and then just walked up onto dry land once. But I like to think she's like almost a little bit siren-y. She like doesn't want to go out of her way to seduce and kill anybody, but like she might if she gets bored. Yeah, I used, I think, every single like female cast item that came with Island Living, so this is a great household to download if you have that pack. So yeah, that's pretty much the household for today. Just a little bit of housekeeping before screenshots. I made a Twitter. It's EB_Sims_ because somebody already had EB_Sims because God hates me, I guess. So feel free to follow me there. I'll post the videos when they go up. I will do little preview screenshots and things like that. So feel free to do that. Also, I'm Elena D97 on the gallery, so you can find these girls there. There's no custom content, so that's a fun bonus. Yeah, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers so I can get a custom URL. So if you can help me with that, if you like these and you want to see more of them, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things. I'm not going to steal the Little Simsy outro. I've just heard it a lot of times. Sorry. But anyway, I love suggestions about what to do next. I would love to hear what you liked about this video or what you would want to see in the future. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you. I hope you appreciate you, and I will see you all next time.